is KC a dynasty? Do you define it as such? And when it's all said and done, which duo will have more championships? You and Pat or Klay and Steph?
Man, that's a good question. I would say, yeah, the Kansas City has been a dynasty for quite a while now, and obviously I'm biased. I'm biased to that, but I think that what Coach Reed has done since he's been here, in terms of winning, in terms of the playoff runs and all the division championships, and the AFC title appearances, then obviously the Super Bowls. We're 100% a dynasty, but when you put it up against what the Warriors have done, obviously we don't have as many championships right now. So we got some work to do. We're on an uphill battle, especially when you talk about what the Warriors have been able to do. Unfortunately, I've seen quite a few daggers from the Golden State Warriors, being a Cavs fan throughout my day. But yeah, Cavs in 7 anyways. But I think at the end of the day, Patty Mahomes finds a way to overtake, what is it? They got 4 championships?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think Pat Mahomes is definitely going to find a way to get more than 4 championships. Hopefully, I'm still along for the ride by the time he gets there.
So Twan, I'm glad you're here, right? Because a lot of times people say that, I'm wild, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I be talking out the side of my neck, right? So if I do that here, just let me know. You're a friend, but I don't think that would be the case, because I did a little research when I saw that this was on the show. Okay. And so I want to get your thoughts here. So initially, when I heard this, I said, hell no, they're not a dynasty. How can you be a dynasty? Right? Like 2 Super Bowls, phenomenal. But when you think dynasty, I think like 10-year run. Okay. But then I did a quick little search, and I'm like, holy shit, like, out of the last 10 years, they have the most wins out of any team. So you go from 2013 to 2023. The Kansas City Chiefs are number 1. Most wins. Okay. But then I said, well, what is a dynasty? Because every time we have these conversations, we have these discussions, we're like, okay, well, who's the GOAT? Well, what is a GOAT? We talk about elite. Well, what is elite? What's good? Okay. So I looked it up, right? The best way to think about a dynasty in the NFL is to equate consistent winning with postseason and Super Bowl success over time. A team can't have postseason success without a Lombardi trophy and claim a dynasty, right? Let's go to the next one that I pulled. Do we have the other one? Dynasty, right? So first, dynasty, sports. A dynasty is a team or individual that dominates, that keyword, dominates their sport or league for an extended length of time. All right? So, let's go here. When you do the research, Twan, and I don't know if you have the other ones, right?
Is where it goes through like the AFC champion.
Yeah, do y'all have that clip?
We have that one.
Can we throw this up, right? So I think this is statmuse.com I went to. All right, so you go to statmuse.com and I go through the last 10 years,
the wins.
Right? And I go through wins. Mm-hmm. Can we pull that up? Can I see that? Most NFL wins in the last 10 seasons. So you got the Chiefs, 117. You got the Patriots, 111. All right. But now you go to Super Bowl wins, because it says dominate, right? Like go back to the last slide. Go back to the slide that says dominates postseason. The other one. Go to the next one. Because it's important. Sports dynasty and team or individual that dominates. So dominates. And then you see here, right, you got to look it up. Like I'm taking y'all in church. The pastor always say, we got to go to the Hebrew of this word. We got to go to the Hebrew. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Toy. So now it says dominate. So you got to dominate. Dynasty, I think about 10-year run at least. And then postseason and Super Bowl. So now let's go to the next StatMuse graphic where it shows Super Bowls. Because if you dominate postseason, then it goes to wins. So you got the Patriots sitting here with 3 Super Bowl rings, Twan.
Yeah.
So when you think about wins, I'm like, damn, well, initially I'm like, Twan, like, well, they're not a dynasty, but then I do the work, and then I'm like, well, they are dynasty because they have the most wins, but then I break down the words dominate and postseason, and then the most success it has been the Patriots. So then I'm like, oh, well, it's the Patriots. So my question for you, Twan, and everybody out there, the Pamelas out there, the Christy O's out there, the Go St. Patrick's that's here with us every single day, my question is, can there be two teams in the same era that are dynasties? That's my question.
Wow, that's great. That's a great question. If I could relate to basketball, I could take it from a period of when we knew. I would say when it was the Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron was in Cleveland. I think that run right there when they play each other in the finals, what was it, 3 times they played each other in the finals?
Yeah. Yep.
It was like 3 times I think they played each other in the finals. That's what I could we knew Cleveland was coming out the East. We knew Golden State was going to win the West. We always looking forward to them playing each other in the finals. And then the finals were so competitive. So I think that's the way I look at it to those teams. Football is different, man. It's so hard in football.
So before you go to football, so are you saying that in basketball, 2 teams could have a dynasty, be a dynasty?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you look at it, I just think even though Golden State ended up winning more titles than Cleveland, but I think both of those teams, we was looking forward to. You could have fast forwarded for 3-4 years there. Everybody knew those 2 teams were going to be in the finals.
Yeah, but Twan, this is where I start getting off the rails for some people, right? And this is when they start calling me crazy, when they say he's talking on the side of his neck, right? This is where we're at. And tell me if I'm doing too much, if I'm going too far. But if you look at the definitions of dynasty, if you look at the definition of dominance, right? Those are the words that comes out. Postseason success. And you can't say you dominate the postseason if you don't have the Lombardi Trophy. You hoist up the Lombardi Trophy. So if that's like what we're looking at dynasty, how we're describing dynasty, and the Patriots have more Super Bowls, more Lombardi trophies than the Chiefs, then they're the clear dynasty.
Yeah. But B, you don't put into thought that with football, it's a game-by-game thing, where in basketball, it's a series. So it's totally different. In football, you got one opportunity on that Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's totally different.
Right.
In basketball, you're talking about a 7-game series. And you got to go through multiple rounds to get to the ultimate. You know what I mean? It's different. You got to win 4 out of 7 3 times just to get to the finals.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When football is a little bit different.
So let's do this, Twan. Let's do this. Team, let's clip this. All right, let's run it on social, all platforms. And let's do what do they call it?
Poll.
Let's do a poll.
Yeah, let's put the code, just, record, put the question out there.
Mm-hmm. And the question needs to be, can there be 2 dynasties in one era? Mm-hmm. That needs to be the question. And Twan, what I'm betting on is that more people are going to say there can only be one. I know you talked about the difference. I think, in basketball and football, I do hear you there, but it sounds like, you're saying whether football, basketball, soccer, you can have two teams that, or maybe even 3 that are dynasties.
No, I think you can have 2 because you want you want to have a chance to get there, the chance to win. And if I come out the East 3-4 times, and that same team come out the West, another team come out 4 or 5 times. We fighting for the dynasty. That doesn't mean because I didn't win it that I'm not a dynasty. You know the body of work it takes to get to the ultimate game,
right? To
get to the Super Bowl, to get to the NBA championship. That's a lot of work, man, to get that done. And if you get that done for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, I mean, obviously you want to win it all, but sometimes you're gonna come up short.
Okay.
And if you're able to get it, so that shouldn't take away from us being a dynasty.
All right. Well, I know, we went 3 minutes over with Twan. We're on. This is Channel 103 Faction Talk, Sirius XM. but Twan loves basketball. I'm pretty sure if you have like one good football question, Twan will give us another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive he's that type of dude.
All right, Twan, yeah, we're gonna keep that in mind then, man. We're gonna keep.
Do you
on
have
for
anything
some
good?
talk. What's some additional football?
Yeah.
topics?
Do you have anything? Do we have anything on the slate?
That Twan would like to talk about? Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, Twan, if you got some more time on your hands.
No,
Football?
Yeah, football.
What you got, Corey? Like give him a few things that we want to talk about.
Well, honestly, I wanted to continue this conversation because I don't think you really explained to the people like who are you suggesting that there's two dynasties currently in the NFL right now? Are you still saying that the Patriots are currently? Yeah, I'm asking you.
No, that dynasty's done.
Okay.
That dynasty's done, but I'm going off the last 10 years, right? So from 2013 to 23, who dominated? Because like I don't think you can call. Am I wrong here, guys? Like, can you say dynasty and it's just 3 to 4 years, 5 years? I feel like it got to be like 10 years. I don't know where I got this from, huh?
I think the NBA people tend to use that term dynasty after 3 or 4 championships, and the NBA mostly though.
Well,
so I guess like yeah, I mean maybe that's it where that's the benchmark. If you have 3 to 4 championships, that can feel like a dynasty. That's legendary stuff. Or it got to be over like an extended period of time. You got to sustain success for a long time.
Wait, sorry. And also I wanted to ask, are you agreeing or disagreeing with Travis Kelce saying that the Chiefs are a dynasty?
I feel that there can be one at the top. Like I don't think there can, when you talk dynasty and you look at the NFL, I don't think we can say, oh, there's 2 dynasties happening right now. Because like we talk about dominate. Think about the word dominate. That means we dominate everybody. There's nobody that can compete.
Yeah.
Right? And so I feel that the Patriots dynasty is done. Okay? Unless Bill Belichick go out there and wins one this year. And the Chiefs are next up. If the Chiefs go out there and win another one within 2 to 3 years, oh, it's a dynasty.
Okay.
But I can't say 100% it's a dynasty like Travis did. I can't say that because if the Patriots didn't exist, then I would say okay, yes, because it's a monster. It's a lot going against the Chiefs. Going to Arrowhead, playing against Patrick Mahomes, man, that's a headache.
Right.
That's a headache.
So you're saying there's no dynasty really in the NFL currently? There's none as we speak right now.
I think that the Chiefs have an opportunity to become a dynasty with one more legendary run.
Because I'm like, if we go with what the point that Antoine was making, you were saying that there can be 2 dynasties at the same time, right? Because you're arguing that the Cavs and the Warriors were really dynasties during that time period.
Yeah. They both dominated their conferences.
Yeah. And
we knew who was going to be in the finals.
Right.
It was a stretch there for 3-4 years that we knew who was about to be in the finals.
And I feel like you can argue that for the Chiefs, no? Because they've made 3 appearances. They lost one to Brady. But just, like as Antoine Walker was saying, they made it there, right? Yep. And they're still, as we speak, one of the teams that you can count on being a contender. You can count on them being in probably one of the last 2 games of the season in the playoffs, no?
But I go back, like I'm being, like pastors say, y'all, what kind of church y'all grew up in?
Yeah.
We going to church or what? You feel me? Like you go to church and they say you read a passage. Go ahead.
I just have to say this because BC, he wanted to say that he don't think the Cavs is a dynasty.
No.
During that era because all they did was lose except for
hold on. Can BC chime in? Is there any way BC can chime in?
Give me 2 seconds.
All right. BC is in the booth. All right. We're gonna see if BC can chime in because how do you respond to that, Twan? That our BC who controls the board. So when we go from my camera to your camera, this graphic to that graphic, BC in the booth is controlling this. So BC is saying that the Cavs were never a dynasty. True or false?
Why? Because they only won one? Or just going off how many they won?
Correct. That's what he's saying. I'll speak for VC because he doesn't have a mic.
Tell BC to come in here. Can't y'all just, I don't know how this technical stuff work, but can BC just walk from out of the control room and just take your spot? Can he do that? Can he come sit in this chair?
Well,
he said he can't.
Why can't Manderville? Can Manderville take over?
Only won one.
Go ahead, Twan.
They won 3. I say I'm assuming he's saying that because they only was able to win one. You know, Cleveland was only able to get one championship out of that run.
Right. Corey, what is BC saying?
Wu got his.
I mean, Wu, what is BC saying?
He's trying to get in the mic.
Okay, so we can at least hear him.
Yeah, we want to hear this.
Yeah, like Antoine, like you said, it's hard to get to the finals, and that's what the Cavs were able to do for 3 years straight, and they won one. So it's like you can't take that away from them.
Yeah, BC is just saying that they were competitive, but at the end of the day, winning is what counts.
Yeah,
and that's what makes you the dynasty is winning.
I can respect that.
Yeah, that's an argument for there not being two at the same time.
That's what we're basing it on.
Yeah.
Hey, they said PT in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat, Twan, but you should do that. You'll enjoy it about when you're on the show. But PT says LeBron is a dynasty, not the Cavs. That's kind of true. He ain't even a dynasty. What do you call that when you do a 20-year run? What's the next level?
Oh, I don't know, but I actually wanted to say that about Tom Brady because he was a part of the Patriots as well as the Buccaneers. So it's like he's a dynasty on his own.
In himself.
If you want to say that about LeBron.
No. Tom Brady was there for 19 years. Or was it 20 years with the Patriots?
Yeah, but him and Bill Belichick was the only constant.
I know. But I don't know, going there and winning one in Tampa makes you I'm a dynasty. Yeah, he was a dynasty on his. When it was the Patriots, it was the Patriots dynasty. It's not Tom. It's not Bill. I hate that whole debate. Twan, how do you feel about it? We got to let Twan go. We're going to let Twan go after this. Twan, how you feel about that? Like this whole conversation around who was more important, Tom Brady or Bill Belichick?
I think it's equal credit. I think I believe it's equal credit. I think obviously, you got to have a good mastermind, good game plan. So you got to give Bill Belichick the credit for that. But then you got to have a player who can go out there and execute. And Tom Brady was one of the best at executing and getting it done. So it was a partnership. I think people want to look at that different, but they were great teams, man. They had a little luck on their side. Some things went their way. All that stuff plays a part, man. I wouldn't take anything away from neither one of those guys. But they coincide. You need both of them to be together. You need a coach to understand the players. You need the player to understand the coach. It goes both ways in all sports to me.
Right.
Especially with your superstar player.